Greetings and salutations, motherfuckers. Welcome to another glorious fucking season of Uncensored. I do hope you enjoyed your summer. A whole lot has happened since the end of last season that we can all get together and say fuck about. Take, for instance, that stupid asshole from the same state as me with a tiny little dick who admires one of the biggest subhuman pieces of shit in all of human history, who decided that anybody who disagrees with him about whether or not some statues should stay erected or be torn down had to die. So he drove out to Virginia and started running over people who went to counter-protest some white supremacist assholes. I get that this is a complicated issue. Sure, you've got some saying that the Confederacy took up arms in an effort to retain slavery and white supremacy, and that we as a nation should not be honoring or commemorating that in any way. You've also got people who call the removal of the monuments everything from erasing history to severing a connection with the past, and even cultural cleansing, as claimed by the Sons of Confederate Veterans in a July Richmond Times-Dispatch article. That's Richmond, Virginia, not Indiana. Here's the thing. I'm not even going to try to make an argument one way or the other about whether the monuments should stay up or whether they should go. Here's my problem. Regardless of where you stand on anything, just because someone disagrees with you does not give you the right to run them over with your fucking car and potentially kill them. And if you think it does, you need to have your motherfucking head examined pronto. Or, in this particular case, succeeding in killing 3 people. Like the asshole from my state with the tiny little dick succeeded in doing. I get it. Everybody's got at least one controversial opinion. I've got at least 2. I'm pro-gun. Yeah, I support the right of the people to keep and bear arms. If you support gun control, does this mean you're gonna run me over with your hybrid? I'm also anti-spanking, folks. Yeah, that's right. Jordan Ryak was a big damn hero in my book. Literally. I wrote a book, and there's a character named in honor of him in that book that I wrote. And yes, I cleared it with him before he died. It's called Nobody's Property. It's on Amazon. Anyway, if you're of the mentality that kids need to have their asses whooped, unlike me, I don't believe there's ever a situation when they do. Does that give you the right to gun for me with your sports car with a V8 engine? I'd like to think not. No, it doesn't give you the fucking right to run me over. And if you do, you only make me a martyr. I lived in Toledo when the Nazis came to town back in 2005. Admittedly, I got in my car and got the fuck out of Dodge that weekend. I don't know if that was the right decision looking back, but I do know that one thing white supremacists are good at is stirring up shit. When I was growing up in Logan County, Ohio, they used to have Klan rallies in Bellefontaine, the county seat, and yes, it is pronounced Bellefontaine, not Bellefontaine, even though a lot of places spelled like that might be pronounced that way, and people from out of the area do tend to pronounce it that way. Getting back to the topic at hand, though, these white supremacist assholes talk a bunch of horse shit about how the white race is supposedly in danger, and oh, how we're so oppressed, blah blah fucking blah. Boo fucking who. Oh, we're gonna be an oppressed minority. Personally, I call bullshit. And I'm gonna say something here. The only danger Caucasians are in is from white supremacist agitators giving the rest of us who aren't racist a bad name. Yeah, I know. This is coming from a guy who has said that he doesn't even believe in white guilt and that it's actually an insult to minorities. And also, I've said that I don't personally owe anybody anything for slavery, which was supposedly abolished 115 years before I was even born. Though between you and me, I suspect that slavery wasn't so much abolished as it was rebranded in the form of sharecropping, Jim Crow, segregation in the earlier days, and in more modern times, it's been expanded to much of the 99% in the form of minimum wage laws, which I personally suspect are designed more to subjugate people rather than provide a decent standard of living. But that's a whole different episode, which I'll probably get to covering sometime this season. Let's try to stay on topic here. So, yeah. White supremacists. If you're watching, yeah, the US Constitution does give you the right to free speech. Even if your idea of free fucking speech is to be a bunch of fucking assholes with tiny fucking dicks, just like James Field Jr., who overcompensated for his tiny fucking dick by running over people and taking three human lives unnecessarily. If you're watching, yeah, the US Constitution does give you the right to free speech. Even if your idea of free fucking speech is to be a bunch of fucking assholes with tiny fucking dicks, just like James Field Jr., who overcompensated for his tiny fucking dick by running over people and taking three human lives unnecessarily. Even if your idea of free speech is to go around claiming that Adolf Hitler was a good guy. Adolf was not a good guy. He was also a fucking asshole with a tiny dick and allegedly only one testicle. By the way, guys, I don't know if you're going to believe this or not, but I have the ability to travel back in time. Once, I even went back in time to April 30th, 1945, and personally killed Adolf Hitler. Just kidding. Maybe. But how would you even know if I wasn't kidding? Something to think about. Okay, more seriously, these white supremacist assholes with tiny dicks are not the only ones in the country with a constitutional right to free speech. The counter-protesters, many of whom, holy shit, were white, and probably like me, tired of assholes who don't represent the majority of people with my complexion. Oh shit, I'm white. Who don't represent us acting like they do. You don't represent us, motherfuckers. And people like me are sick and fucking tired of motherfuckers like you coming in with your tired fucking racist rhetoric, saying you're fucking standing up for us, saying you're standing up for freedom of speech, and claiming that you're trying to fucking save us from annihilation. You motherfuckers are part of the problem, not part of the solution. And yeah, you've got your freedom of speech, so do the counter-protesters. So do the counter-protesters, many of whom, holy fucking shit, were white, just like me. Holy shit, I am white. And probably a lot like me, tired of these white supremacist assholes with tiny little fucking dicks who are just overcompensating for the size of their tiny little dicks by acting like a bunch of stupid assholes who don't represent the majority of people with my complexion. And guys, here's the thing. People like me who aren't racist are fucking sick and fucking tired of motherfuckers like you coming in with your tired fucking racist rhetoric, saying you're standing up for us and for freedom of speech, and trying to claim that you're saving us from annihilation. I'm calling bullshit on that. Seriously. Even among people who look like me, there are a whole lot more of us who aren't racist than there are of you white supremacist pussies. So, fuck you. Yeah. Some of you hide behind a steering wheel like James Fields Jr. instead of having the guts to at least engage people in a fair fight. By the way, I'm going to unleash another controversial opinion. I do support the death penalty, and I'm not sure if Virginia actually has the death penalty anymore. But if they do, I would love for him to be sentenced to death and burn in hell. I'm not saying that hell exists either. I just don't know. But if Virginia has the death penalty, and there is a hell, may he be sentenced to death and burn in hell. And if they don't have a death penalty anymore, then may he get life without parole, and then burn in hell afterwards. There are even bigger pussies than James Fields Jr., though. Like, you stupid, juvenile motherfuckers. And when I say juvenile, I don't mean under the age of majority. There are also people who are even bigger pussies than James Fields Jr. And yeah, I'm talking about you juvenile chicken shits. And when I say juvenile, I don't mean people under the age of 18. I mean people who act like children. I probably shouldn't say they act like children, because a lot of children, especially ones who are raised by peaceful parents, don't act like these assholes. But the ones who hide behind computers, hide behind a computer screen, posting racist filth on social media, these guys are big fucking chicken shits. They'd probably run crying for their mommies if they were faced with a real confrontation, or they'd just shrug it off, flip you off, and walk away like the dumbass did who cut me in line at the store last week, and I called him out on it. Well, I called him and the one who was claimed he was saving his place in line out on it. But, hey, it's good to know I'm number one. And I can return number one, too. And by the way, to that little chicken shit, this is for you. You're as much of a chicken shit as those white supremacist pussies. Whoever you are, wherever you are, go fuck yourself. Maybe not as much of a chicken shit as white supremacists. They're chicken shits. Big time. Pretty big time. And I'm not going to lower myself, even though this is a show called Uncensored. I'm not going to lower myself even to quoting some of the racist shit that gets posted on social media every day. Yeah, I suppose it's going against the nature of the show not to use the N-word or the other F-word, even in quoting, but these are not words that are in my everyday vocabulary anyway, so it's not really censored for me not to use them, even when quoting racist scumbags who don't deserve to be quoted. Hell, they don't even deserve to have an episode about a tragic mess that they caused. I don't know. Just don't know anymore. But yeah, if you're one of those people who does use the N-word in your everyday speech, fuck you. If you're one of those people who uses the other F-word, that one that's used to describe LGBTQ people, fuck you too. I'm not going to say either of those words even on a show called Uncensored. If you have a problem with that, you go fuck yourself too. If you think I'm flipping the bird too much, both hands, right there. I don't know. Maybe this episode only qualifies as mostly uncensored instead of uncensored. Oh well, so be it. Bottom line to all of you racist motherfuckers out there, Adolf Hitler was a subhuman piece of shit. George Lincoln Rockwell was an asshole, and I'm glad he was assassinated. Yeah, I said it, and I'm not sorry. Those people who used to run Stormfront.org are a bunch of dick-headed chicken shit pussies hiding behind a computer. I'm glad they got their website shut down. Because yeah, even though I'm all for people having their free speech, the people who are giving them web hosting also have the right to free speech by saying, fuck you, we're not going to let you host that filth on our bandwidth anymore. Why it took them so long, I'll never know. Probably to do with this. So yeah, whether you're a racist scumbag who thinks it's okay to subjugate or kill people you don't like simply for the color of their skin or because they disagree with your fucked up opinions, or whether you're among the counter-protesters who told those racist scumbags what I'm about to tell them on my show and what I actually have told them a little bit. Yeah, both of you have your right to free speech, freedom of speech. Here's the kicker. I also have mine. And here's me expressing my right to free speech. If you're racist or bigoted in any way, go fuck yourself. Right there. Right there. Swords. Yeah. Yeah. Macarena. Come on. I was conceived in the 70s, born in the 80s, grew up in the 90s. You had to realize there was going to be a Macarena reference on Uncensored one of these days. Peace and love. Later.